And I remember when I took that first Vicodin ever, like, it was like the first time I smoked weed, but a lot better. It just like hit that sweet spot, so to speak, for me. And I knew, like, at that point that like that was something special. I don't know. I just never felt like I truly fit in with anyone. And when middle school came along, like, I really felt like I was isolated by myself. Everyone had their friends, and no one really paid any attention to me. I was no longer the funny guy, and so I struggled with like liking myself, loving myself. And around that time, my parents were getting divorced, and they weren't really paying much attention. One day, I was with my other friends, and they were drinking, and I tried drinking with them, but I couldn't, like, swallow any of the alcohol, so I kept spitting it up, and I saw them all, like, having a really good time, or so I thought. They were just acting fools, but I, like, desperately wanted to fit in with these people, so I pretended that I was drunk, and we had a good time, and this was during the summer, going into 8th grade, and I spent that whole summer just doing everything and anything I could to hang out with these guys. We would sneak out of our house, go break into cars, like, every night. We started smoking weed, and it took me, like, at least 10 times to get high. Every time I smoked weed, it wouldn't work for me. But I remember the first time that I did get high, it was like the lights came on, so to speak. Like, we were in the woods, it was sunny, and everything just, like, started to glow, and I couldn't stop laughing, and it was really like nothing I'd ever felt before. And ever since then, I spent I spent the rest of middle school and all of high school just, like, chasing that high. After a couple years in that, I broke my hand again, and I got opiates again, the Vicodin, and I remember taking 2 of them the first time when I first got the bottle, and, like, I was on another planet. And I quickly went through that bottle, and when that ran out, I realized that I could keep buying them. And, like, I realized that there was a whole market for these things, and so with this seemingly unlimited source of money, I just quickly got really addicted to Vicodin. So I met this other dealer that was selling like Oxy. So I quickly went from the Vicodin to the Oxys, and that went on for a few months. And at some point, one was running out of money. 2, I couldn't find any pills, and my friend said that he could get some heroin, and I was really reluctant at first. I think I waited a couple days, and the sickness, which was a lot worse at this point because of the stronger medication, called him, and that was the first time that I got.
Okay. All right. So, what led you to treatment the first time?
Shortly after I started using heroin, I was living at my dad's house, and I fessed up about it, and they made me start going to this therapist, and they had an intervention on me, and they told me that I needed to go to treatment, and if I didn't, there would be all these consequences. So that was my first time going to treatment.
Okay. And how many treatments have you been to total?
10 or 11.
Okay. So, 10 or 11, what made the first 9 or 10 not work?
At first, I wasn't convinced I was an addict. I never pictured myself being an addict, and so I thought I was strong enough to overcome it myself. I didn't listen to them. I used other drugs as soon as I got out, which immediately led back to me using what I really wanted. I think almost every single treatment, except for this last one, I got high the day I got out. I knew I would. When I came to EnterHealth, I had no place to sleep. I was alone in my car and miserable. And my parents were no longer enabling me. Friends didn't want me around. I was just totally alone. And I think really the difference this time, staying here long enough, really the first few months were kind of tough. There was a lot of growing in treatment. I felt the way I was thinking was changing. So I guess before I came here, I destroyed my life completely, so I didn't really have too much going for me. But, I was able to just put a pause on everything else in my life and take about, it's almost been a year now since I came here. And, so I guess putting this first, before.